All right, good morning, guys. Hope you guys are having a great day. Let's have a look here and see what's going on with the market. All right, so let's start with the futures uh, with the S&P 500. So we're in this consolidation range right here. Um, so which is interesting to note that it's still consolidating, and this setup right here is just getting absolutely crucial for this trend line to hold right about here. Okay. So this trend line was getting steep. Now we're getting more of a consolidation, which is sideways. So this can be a very important to note. What could happen here? What's something that you want to watch for? You know what I mean? So this is something you want to pay attention to. Okay. Give me a second. And when we look at all this and we look at these different tools, right? There's something important to know, right? So when we look at the S&P 500 and see what's going on here and why it's happening and what, like, obviously there's a lot of uncertainty in the market, right? And the other level to know is, let's just zoom in for a little bit here. And we want to see where the market's been steadily bouncing, right? So the market has been steadily bouncing in this zone right here that we're looking at. Okay. So even now, these wicks that were formed at the bottom, they came to this level. Right? And we can see that this is an important level. So this is a level where a lot of buyers held this position right about here. So buyers wanted to hold this position over and over and over again. So whenever you look for a particular zone or level, just make sure you're looking at it and you want to wait for that level to close. Like, this is why it's important to wait for the close. If the close doesn't happen below this, what do we have? We have these fake outs, right? And a lot of people just trade it as soon as it crosses below. You can't just cross below, okay? You can't just do that over and so you can't just put it at the bottom and just wait for this to come here, okay? The only problem that you're gonna have with that is that you're gonna notice that there's too many fake outs, okay? So because there's too many fake outs, there's going to be a lot of different issues with this, so don't do this. Okay, so wait for your levels to break, but on a bigger picture here, on a bigger time frame, on the ES, we're still bearish, downward channel still intact. It needs to get above 43.90, then a real push to 44, maybe 20 here, but the big zone, which has been held, is this supply level here. Okay, this is a big area. And it's not showing any signs that it's gonna go above it's gonna go above it, right? So right now we're also seeing that the volume is declining, right? So it's been steadily declining. There's been some buys and all that, but volume's been steadily declining. So there's low liquidity, so that's great. So consolidation and low liquidity is usually a good sign. However, but it's likely that we can continue in a trend that we're in. So the long term, we're starting an uptrend, but right now we've taken out lows, right? We've taken out this low, we've taken out this one right here, and we took out this low as well because you can see this candle has closed below it, right? So this is important to watch now, this zone, right, for ES. Let's look at NQ. Nasdaq's been completely burnt. It's I don't really I like the Nasdaq, the tech stocks, the way they move and all that, but if you're just looking at this, the way it's shaping right now, right? It's just coming down. There's no other way around it, right? So if we have a zoom here, this is great. Like, let's have a look at the monthly time frame on Nasdaq, right? Nasdaq is showing no signs that this stock wants to even take a break. All right, so broke out, came back. It was well extended here, right? So let's look at the weekly here. Weekly important support level was lost here, which was right here, right? And then this zone becomes important to us now as we're looking at Nasdaq. So right now we can see we tested this level. We didn't really get above it, right? If you want to make it more visual, we can see, okay, right about here. So this is where the supply is sitting. It's not going up, it's not going down, it's not going sideways. It's just, this is where the supply is sitting on NASDAQ. Okay. So that's important to know that right now the NASDAQ or the triple Qs, they're not in the strongest trend. Day trading wise, like if I'm looking at this is a choppy market. Like I don't even know which way the market, like, obviously the trend is down, but I'm not going to trade until this level is broken here or the upper level right here is broken. So when I say broken, you have to wait for the close. You can't just trade because you want to trade. You have to wait for a confirmation. Okay. If there's no confirmation, there's no trade. All right. So those are the trades that I'm looking at today. So VIX is up as well. Right. So we can clearly see that VIX is up here. Right. Curling upwards multiple times. Right, so we can see that this is holding. So if the VIX gets above 28, we can see a quick push up, right? Next thing we want to watch is iron gold. Gold once again is crossing and is getting very, very close to a key level. So there's a nice pop in gold here. It's turning upwards. Got to pay attention to this zone right about here. Waiting for a close above 185. If we get a close above 185, we could potentially push at least to 195 from there. But right now, it doesn't look so good. Uh, the setup is there for gold. It might take a little bit more time. We're going into inflation numbers and all that this coming month, and actually, it's the 10th of March where we're going to have inflation data coming out. So today we had some important economic data that was released. I'm just going to have a look at that. So trading economics is what I use, pretty free resource. You can just have a look at it. Non-farm expected was 400K. Beat that. That's really good. Hourly earnings hasn't really moved much. So this is something important to know. This non-farm payroll it's a really important number. They did get it really high. It's been the highest since I believe, yeah. So right here. Right, so this is really, really high. So this is good. This means that this is how many jobs they added in February of 2022. Now, the only problem is this data could be a little bit skewed, right? Because um, the jobs added, it could be just people just going back to the average jobs. We don't know that yet, right? So we have to just kind of wait for that and see how that plays out, right? So how the market's not responding too well to this right now. If we have a just look at the futures right here. Had a quick pop, no reaction, like, you know what I mean. So we really got to wait this out, right? So market looks like it could just break down here, and if it gets below this level, yeah, we could have a possible move to the downside today further, right? So some of the stocks that I'm watching today for a downside break, BNTX is one of them. Okay, so the reason why I'm watching BNTX to the downside is, look, it's curling, multiple tests to the downside. We got a descending triangle formation going on. However, it's at my level where I want it to be. Right in the morning, I would like to see some sell volume pick up. So we can possibly, if I zoom out here on our daily, if it closes below this level, so the pre-market's high is at 135. It's already below 135.77. So it's here. It's in this area right here. The next support I really see for BNTX right now is about here, 120. Right? And then after that, we can see 89. All right, so BNTX down, right? The other one was SE. SE is another one that's been getting rocked in the market. Okay, so SE is down a lot right now. Overall in the trend, and it's down below its previous support, which was at 119. So because it's down below its previous support, what I would like to see here is a breakdown further. Right, so it's below this. This is a stop loss. So possibly, if I look at a daily time frame, where could be the next support zone? Looking at the previous levels here, next support easily could be 92, and then about 83. right? So I would just, if you're gonna play this, I would play a small position here. Well, actually, you can play it how you want. Just the entry would be here. Stop would be right about here, right? And then let's see what happens with this. Next one is Roku. Roku was beaten down here. This is an important trend line for Roku. Okay. So it's if it closes below 120, we can have a real push or a real opportunity to go short here for a quick move to 110 and then to a 102 on Roku here. Okay, so Roku could be a quick play today if it does give us the opportunity to come to the downside. And next one I'm watching is ASML. Right, so if we just have a quick look at this, it's in a long consolidation here, right? The highs and lows are here. The pre-market is sitting right at this critical level. If there's no support here or there's no bounce, ASML could be down to next week, yeah, or the next couple weeks. We could easily see this level being tested. It's at a critical level. It's the waves are changing for it. It's a quick move down here. So if you guys really wanted to play it, or I'm gonna play this position. There's a gap down here. We'll see if there's a fill, because usually when there's a gap down like this, there's a quick bounce in the morning. So I want to see if this sell the rip, right? If this sell the rip, it could be a good opportunity to go short right about here to continue its down move. If you did want to short it right now, your stop is going to be really far away. It's going to be up here. But if your target is like what we looked at on the bigger time frame, to the downside right about here, then that's okay. Because then your risk to reward is about 2.74. Okay. And how you size this depends on your own risk mandate, how you kind of deal with that, right? So that's all going to depend on you, not individually, right? So let's have a look at Nvidia. Nvidia short term, it's going to really focus on just the short term here. Right at the trend line, pre-market right below it, broken this area multiple times. So it's given us a few resistance zones here, right? So if it gets below this, I'm going to go into a smaller time frame to look at where some levels are. So if it gets below this trend line, this area has already been tested, and there could be buyers anywhere here. Okay, so to be very honest with you guys, if I'm trading Nvidia, I'm gonna wait and see what it does at 206. Because here there could be buying. Like if you're gonna scalp short, great, it can work out for you. But for me, I don't see the risk to reward being worth it, right? So it's too much of a risk for the reward that we're gonna have on Nvidia. So I just don't see the benefit of it right now. Okay, so we'll see what happens with this. But for now, I just want to keep an eye on this, and I'll trade that accordingly, right? So in sync with Nvidia, we can look at AMD. AMD moving exactly the same. Okay, right. So it's really in this price channel here. Okay, right at it. Not above it, not below it. Just steady at it. And this is an important zone, right? Because as we can see, price is consolidated here. It didn't go lower. It bounced from here. So that means there is buying interest in this zone. So this is a previous buying zone. So now we basically need to see supply become stronger than demand in this area. If supply becomes stronger, it could be a catalyst to push the stock lower. But right now, we have no way of identifying that until we start to see some selling pressure pick up. Obviously, we do see some selling pressure here in this area, of course. However, this is a big area to watch. And the close below 100 will be the true tail. If AMD is going to bounce, it's going to bounce from here. 128. Okay, so right now, if we're really looking at AMD, it's at the previous support zones. If it breaks down further from, I would say 109, yeah, it can have a quick down move to about 100, but we'll see how today goes, right? So I remember today's Friday. Market can get whipped both ways. So the news so far in the morning has been very mixed, not very serious in the matter. Okay, so we'll see how all of this plays out. Right. So right now, not a lot happening, not a lot going on in the market. Just everybody just a little bit scared to invest and kind of focus their money. So I would just be very cautious right at the open. Don't take any big trades. Okay. Just kind of wait for the dust to settle right at the open, and before you guys start taking any kind of massive moves here. Okay. So I would be very careful of that, and I would just watch for most of the day. But those are the simple stocks that I'm watching where we could short it. Coin is another one that I like to short, just because where it is sitting right now. You guys should be able to see a common pattern with a lot of these. They're all trading in a similar range. Nothing's going up, nothing's going down. Everything's just kind of sideways, right? So the other one that I'm watching here, Tesla. I watch Tesla on a daily basis. It gives some strong opportunities. So aftermarket went to about 126, but if we look at the 1 hour on Tesla, this is an important zone for Tesla right here. It's below 845, so it's below this consolidation zone. So right now it's showing support right here, which makes sense around this level. So 118 to 118 to about 818 to about 824 is showing the support. If it gets below 819, we could see a quick fall to 800. All right, so today on Tesla. All right, guys, so that's enough for me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, whatever you guys want to see from me in the future. I can post more videos with my analysis. And, if you are struggling with trading, remember, 90% of it is your own mindset. It's not the market. The market doesn't control you, you control the